Hi, recently I bought the Moorebot Scout mobile security robot. In short, it is a camera on 4 wheels that can be remotely controlled even when I am miles away from home. When it is at the charging dock, it functions as a security camera, and I get notified when suspicious activities are detected. It can even do donuts around his friend. One feature that is also interesting is the ability to program it using a language called Scratch. So, in this video, we will looking into the Scratch language, see an example program, and try to program something interesting myself. Let's go! Scratch is probably the most popular language for school kids just starting to learn coding. It is essentially a block-based, visual, programming language. I was certainly too old to have learned Scratch from school. So, let's explore how to program in Scratch with me. After pressing the program button, I arrived at this page where I could either create a new program or look at existing program examples. Let's see this example code named anti-clockwise rotation. As for the layout of the programming interface, on the left is the library of all available blocks. They are grouped by functionalities. Under System, we have blocks related to start and stop of the program, and access to some timers. Under Media, we can control Scout to play a sound, or take a photo, or record a video. Under Motion, there are different ways to request Scout to move. Under Smart AI, we have access to Scout's AI image recognition capability. We can define what to do when a person or a pet is detected. Logic blocks allow Scout to perform different actions under different conditions. Common loop types are here. And math functions. Finally, we can define lists and variables if we want. And on the right is the canvas, where you drag and drop blocks onto. Now, we can get a better understanding of what block-based visual programming language means. First, in Scratch we program not by typing code, but by dragging and dropping blocks. Second, visual aspects such as color and shape are used to represent properties of the blocks. Color is used to distinguish between different functional groups. Blocks like this are called hat blocks. They start a block stack. Blocks with a notch above and below are used within a stack, and they run one after another. Some blocks are more complex, and their behavior depends on other pieces of information, such as the repeat while block. Blocks with a puzzle-like tab indicates they can be plugged into those connection spots. With that very brief introduction on Scratch, let's see what the example program does. First, the start block initiates our block stack. A timer starts counting time, and it is used to stop the motion later in the code. Next, Scout's rotational and translational speeds are set. This does not cause Scout to move, but does make subsequent motion commands simpler, as future commands only need to describe time or distance of travel. The next block is where motion happens. It asks Scout to translate and rotate at the same time. After this block, Scout will continue moving until it is told to stop. And that is the job of this while block. It repeatedly checks if timer has counted up to 12 seconds since start. If so, the while block is done. Since it is the last block on the stack, the program stops and so does Scout. Let's run this program and see it in action. You can click this camera button to see the video stream. So, the program named anti-clockwise rotation actually runs Scout clockwise. Did you expect that? But since we asked for right rotation in the motion block, the behavior does match the expectation. So the motion block used here is asking for both translation and rotation at the same time. just like when we use both left and right joysticks of the controller. If I replace it with a simpler motion block that only does translation, and in this case, move at 30-degree angle, it does exactly that. Similarly, if I use a motion block that only does rotation, it rotates. And when you combine steering to the right, but thrust slightly to the left, you get. Now that I know how to drive Scout in both straight lines and curves, how about letting Scout write its own name? To write the first letter S, for example, Scout will move in 4 segments. To do that, I am going to follow the same strategy as used in the example program. That is to set the speeds at the beginning, then for each of the 4 segments, I will start a motion block, and use a timer to control how much it travels. That's a lot of blocks to write one letter. I am a beginner in Scratch. If you know better way, please leave a comment. Oops! Fixing some mistakes and tweaking some parameters. Not bad as the second attempt. Almost a letter S. After some trial and error, here it is. All programmed using Scratch. That's it for now, and more playing to come. As always, thanks for watching.